I'm Sherrod Brown. It's an honor to serve in the United States Senate. It's an honor to be here with Jim Nussle. Jim and I, more years ago than we care to remember, served in the House of Representatives together. Thanks to everyone in CUNA for inviting me to speak today. Thanks for everyone. I know what credit unions do in our communities, large ones like the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Credit Union in Dayton, to smaller community credit unions that are doing very well also. And I always recognize we need strong credit unions. Right now, as our country faces this pandemic, your work to serve your members, of course, is more important than ever. This pandemic has been, as some have said, the great revealer. It's laid bare racial inequality. It's laid bare income and wealth inequality that most workers have been living with for decades, and in the case of the racial wealth gap, for generations. I now serve as the chair of the Senate Banking and Housing Committee, a committee that has far too often done the bidding of Wall Street, far too long. That Wall Street dominance ends now. Our first job, of course, will be to defeat the coronavirus to prevent a tidal wave of evictions in the middle of a pandemic and in cold winters, to turn around our economy. In fact, this committee will play a major role. We will get to work building an economy centered on the dignity of work, on an economy that values work. We will give power and voices to those who have been denied a place in this economy. We will fight discrimination in housing and structural racism in our banking system, from Jim Crow, from the black codes to Jim Crow to redlining to some of the regulations that were put into place in the last few years that actually increased discrimination. You will all have a role to play as well in both helping people through this crisis and building a better system once this crisis is in the rearview mirror. People are seeing how important it is to have local financial institutions like credit unions that serve their communities. I think during the pandemic, people understood that their allies were often in their communities credit unions, not the big banks. I hope we can work together to support new efforts to get Americans who have been left behind into our banking system. We need to give them access to basic bank accounts that don't come with abusive fees, and access to capital that will help everyone who wants to build businesses and to build a better life. Part of that effort, of course, means helping everyone of all backgrounds all over the country build wealth through home ownership. We all have a stake in building a better financial system that works for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter what kind of work you do. I'm excited about the opportunity we have to do that together, to work with CUNA, to work with all credit unions around the country, especially my credit unions, if I can say that, in Ohio. We want to make a real difference in people's lives. You will be part of that, and we will work together. Thank you so much.